Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Straight cash, homie.
Hold on to your butts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Oh, what the hell is that?
What's that?
I can't hear you. Oh.
You can't hear me.
No, what? I can hear you. What the hell is that playing in the background?
Oh, this damn ad. I'm just waiting for it to go so I can get those stats.
I was like, what the hell? You got a party back there?
Yeah, just like I hit pause, but it's not pausing.
You got the damn red. You got the red light on, ready to go.
The red light's been on all night, man.
All right, welcome back to the Basement Monsters podcast. I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles. Bucks win 25-23. Went down to the wire. Daniel Jones did well. I thought he did all right. He had a bad interception. He had one bad interception. He had one interception that wasn't his fault. But I mean, how do you? I thought it was really, really sluggish of the Bucks to start. And I told you, in order for it to be close, you would know by the start of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in those first two quarters, and it showed. They were down. They were down. I believe 14-3.
Yeah, they were down, man. And really, I don't even know if they should have won this game. Tom Brady is just he needs to be way better than he was today. Right out of the gate, overthrowing people, off by 3, 4, 5 yards to the side of a player. Gronk doesn't get involved until like midway in the second, or I'm sorry, the midway of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened to Ronald Jones.
Right.
They decided it was Fournette and wouldn't put Ronald back in. So I don't know if that's because he fumbled or maybe there's something else going on. You didn't go to Mike Evans near enough. And Scotty Miller, I mean, they just had great coverage on Scotty Miller. There was like 3 plays down the sideline where they he tried to get it to him, but every time, I mean, the Giants defender was blanketing Scotty Miller. So, props to the Giants, which we knew they had a decent defense. But yeah, that offense just looks terrible. And I mean, they couldn't run, they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, on the night they had as a team the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24 carries, 81 yards rushing. No touchdown. Longest rush, 13 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Fournette led all rushers with 52 yards on 15 carries, and that's not going to get it done. That puts it squarely on Tom's shoulders. You know what I mean? Like you need to have that running game complement Tom Brady because as good as that offense has been, and granted they came out with a win. As good as that offense has been. They had a decent showing last week, but you need more out of that backfield. Like I said, you got Fournette and Jones. You have 2 running backs. You need both of them to produce. You can't have only 23 yards from Ronald Jones. And I don't know what you saw tonight, whether it was the running back or lack of push on the offensive line. But regardless of that, you need both your horses to get yards for you. You're on mute.
The one constant of the game that was just, it seemed like every time they ran, tackle by Blake Martinez.
Right.
Tackle by Blake Martinez. It's like, is anybody going to, get this guy? Someone's going to block this dude? I mean,
I'm happy Blake Martinez is out of the NFC North. The Packers I think the Packers made a mistake not signing Blake Martinez.
I mean, now look at their run defense.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it was bad. I mean, I just don't know like what the story is with Ronald Jones. So 23 yards is going to get it done, but when you only get to play, pretty much 2 quarters of a game, you can't expect to get a bunch more yards. For whatever reason, it was Fournette's turn in the second half or whatever, and he didn't do much either. But the offensive line, I don't know what happened today. I mean, they did give Tom some time, and when they did, the funny thing is they gave Tom time, and those are all the throws pretty much that he missed. So it's like is he better under duress at this point now? Maybe it's just like he's. I mean, there's a couple over the middle that were just like, I mean, if the guy catches it, it's a good 40-yarder or it's a touchdown, one of the two, and he just airmailed it. he's got to be better. That defense has to be better all the way around. We did get a couple picks, but I mean, they weren't,
well, they 10 points. Both interceptions led to 10 points. That's the problem with if you're the New York Giants. I mean, think about just that. Think about one. If you limit it to one and not make that bonehead throw, if you're Daniel Jones, I mean, young quarterback in Daniel Jones, a team that's on the rise, which really means they're rebuilding.
Right.
In the Giants. So you can't really blame them. But like I told you, the Giants had been in every game but one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, they're like I said, their defense isn't all that bad. It's just that Daniel Jones just needs to stop throwing so many picks. So once that happens, they'll be able to get those games that they're in. They'll be able to start winning. And right. I mean, they're only 3 games out of first place, so they're still in there. You know what I mean?
Which is insane to me, Luke, because it's like the 3 wins is on top of the division. 3 wins is number 1 in the East, and this Giants team is sitting at 1-7 now. You're at 1-7, and they could easily have maybe 4 wins, 5 wins.
They could go on a run.
You know what I mean? It could be a complete runaway if they just got a little bit more effort. Not effort. I wouldn't say effort. I think they're playing well. But if they just made 1 or 2 more plays in some of the games that the New York Giants have been in, we're talking about a completely different team.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, like I said, they don't look that bad. I mean, I don't know. Compared to a couple seasons ago, I don't know where Sterling Shepard has went. It looks like they're, Slayton heavy. And Evan Ingram too. Like I don't know. Those 2 guys need to be way more involved, especially now since you don't really have much of a rushing attack. So I mean, why not start opening it up and getting those defenses to back up off you so you can incorporate your running game.
Right. Well, the Giants went ahead and they spread it around tonight. I mean, there's a bunch. I'm not going to even count how many guys. But the main 4, the top 4, Shepard, Ingram, Slayton, and Tate, and they go they go in that order when it comes to leaders in yards and receptions. Shepard with 8 for 74, Ingram with 5 for 61, Slayton with 5 for 56, and Tate with 2 for 31, but 1 big touchdown at the end of the game. And he contorted his body, got 2 feet in. There was no doubt. It was an amazing throw, and it was an amazing catch. Give credit to when credit's due, and that play was just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and there's you got to give him credit. That it is what it is. But and then that last play of the game with the over in the flat on the goal line, maybe not. I mean.
Yeah, I want to bring that. Let's because I'm getting tired. So let's wrap it up on this question. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fading. I just had the softball game, dude. I'm exhausted. So with that play, and you have a New York Giants team that's driving, and like I said, Daniel Jones. It's like he had this horrible interception, but you see the promise. Like, you see how good he can be. He went ahead. Facing a Bucs team, stared down a defense that is pretty much top 5 in the league. You'd say top 10, and had no fear of leading them downfield. And it's something that you like in your quarterback. You want in your quarterback, but you do not want the mistakes. And I'll chalk it up to him being a young quarterback, his 2nd year. But man, this. One or 2 plays, and we're talking about the New York Giants, in the playoffs and what they can do from now on. You know what I mean? Even without Saquon Barkley, seeing what they're doing without their best offensive weapon. Yeah,
I mean they're not far off from it getting it to click. Like I said, if he could just trim down those picks and those turnovers. Like they can find themselves winning quite a few games, actually, especially within the division. Right. And that's, I mean, I'm sure they play probably 4 more games within the side of the division, and they win all those, and they're going to be sitting pretty up at the top. I mean, that's his only problem. I mean, it's just basically those turnovers. And to tell you the truth, he probably should have had a couple more turnovers.
Right.
Drop balls. I know Levante David dropped one. There were a couple other ones with the backs that were close to being there. But yeah,
can't charge you for maybes. They can't charge you for maybes though.
Yeah, and I almost kind of wonder, like to me, I just feel like the Giants should also maybe call some design runs for him. I mean, the guy's not slow, and maybe even roll the pocket. You know, I feel like he's a mobile enough guy to where he could actually make some plays on the run. I mean, you got to respect him if he does take off, and then if he rolls out, maybe draw those linebackers down towards him because they know he is a threat running, and then dump it over their heads. But I mean, you also don't want to get him smashed. So it's kind. I understand the hesitancy, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like he's agile enough to where you could actually run some things with him instead of just leaving him back there and then having everybody fall at his feet and making him nervous.
I think you meant hesitation, but it was funny. It was funny hearing hesitancy. I mean, but and trust me, I have blunders all day long. Mike Evans led the with 55 yards for the Bucks. Rob Gronkowski, 41 yards with in a touchdown. Rob just continues to be, continues to get more involved and more involved and more involved in the offense. And you know what? Good for him. Like good for Rob Gronkowski. Like, I'm happy for him. If he took some time off, got his head back, decided he loved the game. I mean, honestly, maybe getting out of New England was probably the best thing for him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, probably the time off.
Right. Time off, time to reflect, time to get healthy. Then you go down to the sunshine and beaches. That's Rob's. That's right up our valley.
Right.
So I feel like with all that, coming together, like it's making for one of the most underrated, underrated seasons. He really is having an underrated, like under the radar comeback player season.
Yeah, and he's doing a lot. I mean, he's not just catching touchdowns and passes. He's helping out huge in like the setting blocking or whatever it is on the offense. Like there's a lot of stuff that he's doing that doesn't get the camera time. So I mean, and I think that's probably helps him stay a little healthier because he's not being pummeled down the field all the time.
Right.
The other thing I would say is get ready for an explosion next week with Tampa Bay's offense. They're going to hang 40 on the Saints once they get Antonio Brown.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I can see that, but the Saints defense is no slouch. I mean, they did get you last time. They did get you last time. Honestly, if you don't get that running game going, though, if you don't get the running game going, you saw the struggles with the New York Giants. So think about Drew Brees and the Saints. It's a different type of offense that you can't make mistakes on.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, they know each other. The Saints won the first one. They've split like every season for I don't even know how long. So I'm looking for Tampa to get this one, but I think everybody is going to see something maybe a little different. Probably not a lot of action from him, but what he's going to create as far as just his presence being on the field is going to be a different animal. Because if you put Scotty Miller, Antonio Brown, and Gronkowski on one side of the field, and you hang Mike Evans on the other, I mean, there's a lot of coverage that needs to happen on that side of the field with all three of those guys because any one of them is going to be a threat and can take it. I mean,
that they could take it and then yak. Think about yards after that.
That's what I'm saying.
They could all either one of them is a threat to go over the top or a threat to catch and then break a few and get extra yardage. If not, take it to the house. So you're dead right about that. Like it makes your game planning on defense that much harder.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna if let's say you put Evans on one side, Antonio on the other side. As good as Scotty Miller is and as quick as he is, put him in the slot and then run Gronk underneath. Let him run up the seam in the slot and throw Gronk underneath him. That's going to be tough to stop. And then once you come in to stop that, then they go over your head, to one of the other guys. So he's just going to add a dynamic. I mean, like I said, he doesn't even have to really catch much. All he has to do is just get out there on the field and create a mismatch or make a defender think, hey, wait a second, I need to be over here.
Right.
Little things because Tom Brady, we know he doesn't need that big of a window. I mean, it's I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing it. But this you're right. I mean, the run game has to pick up. Like that's just terrible what they did tonight.
Yeah. All right, man. I mean, you got the win. Like, congrats.
Yeah.
25-23. Buccaneers win 25-23 over the New York Giants. I still feel bad for the Giants. Maybe they catch a string of luck, and they end up being one of those teams that end up going. Maybe they end up getting 6 wins in the back half of the season or something like that. But
well, I'd hope so because I don't want to see any of those other teams anywhere.
Right. And it's like I said, man. What was it? 1 point, 3 point, 2 points that they're losing these games. The New York Giants are losing these games by, and it's like, man. Yeah, I'm glad it's not my team. I'm glad that's not happening to my team. I'm sure you're glad it's happening to your team.
But yeah, I mean, both teams combined in New York are like 1-12 or 1-13. That's how many wins they have together.
I honestly think the Jets are like actively trying to lose games.
I don't know why.
I don't think there's purpose at all.
No,
or the front office to win any game whatsoever. I think they're 100% sold on taking for Trevor.
Yeah, but I don't know if Trevor's 100% sold on it.
If Trevor was a smart man, and I'm sure he has some higher intelligence, at least a little bit more intelligent than you or I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, sir.
Well, he can always pull the Eli Manning. So
I would do that, sir. I would not do that. I would not. That just sounds like it sounds like a death sentence.
All he has to do is go back and watch the Texans draft David Carr and watch what happens when you don't have a team.
It sounds like a death sentence.
Yeah. Unless the New York Jets, grab him first and then go straight lineman with every pick after that. I mean, even then it's still a gamble, but
right.
Yeah, the Jets they're in bad shape and it's not getting any better. And I don't think it will. I really don't think there's a lot of people out there that would say, hey, I'd like playing for Adam Gase.
Yeah, I don't think there is. I don't think there didn't work. I said it didn't work in Miami. Why the hell would you think it was going to work in New York? All right, dude, I'm done. I'm going to go smoke a bowl, go to sleep, and get ready for a new day.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, guys.
I'll see you, probably on Thursday then.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, guys, this has been the Basement Monsters podcast. I'm Ivan Vargas. That's Luke Nettles. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixSplits?
Who?
TixSplits. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TixSplits.com today. TixSplits.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixSplits.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.